Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're gonna do a continuation about the story that I told you in my previous video. And well, after the whole work thing, I left work, right? And then the voices changed. They became friendly again. Now it was the group of people that had the alien technology that were part of the rehab program that wanted to help me. And they said, Efren, we have been analyzing you and we want to see how you're doing. So then I felt this thing scanning me, and then it just began scanning my feet, like all my toes. And then it said, Efren, we have dug through your memories and we found that your mother was an extremely manipulative being who manipulated you and made you a prostitute and whored you out. And she did she hypnotize you to forget everything about it? But you have been prostituted your entire life. And then all these memories of my mom being mean to me came up. Like when my mom said one time, she said, "Te dije que no me molestes." And just that was like the meanest thing memory that I have of my mom, and it just kept replaying in my head. But my mom has been like the most loving person, and she has my back regardless of how I'm doing. She has my back 100%. She's the most she's the one person that I can fully trust 100% with everything. So now this thing was telling me, yeah, ella te manipuló y te prostituyó, pero te manipuló para que no te dieras cuenta. So then the thing that I was scanning my phone told me, ¿sabes qué? Acabó. You know what? We just found out. Well, this is the nice voice, sorry. So it said, Efren, we have been scanning your body and we found that you have sepsis on your toes. I didn't even know what sepsis was. And apparently it is. I looked it up. I had to look it up on Google. And apparently it's it's a disease that cats get. And I had like 20 cats when I was a kid. I had like at least 7 cats. And then I began feeling sensations of cats biting me, and then the voice said, "We are now making you feel everything that you felt when the cats were biting you." But in reality, my cats never bit me. They scratched me here and there, but they never like the simulation technology was doing it. So then I felt like how you would feel when a cat is biting you. So it was like biting my toes, and it felt like it would just feel with a cat. And then it said, yeah, the cats gave you sepsis, and that's why your toenails are like that. Now, Efren, we are going to award you $1 million because thanks to you, we have discovered this entire prostitution circle that has been in San Diego. And the voice said, your ex traveled with you because they were prostituting you. So when this happened, I was like insanely hot. Like I had veins on my abs. I was just like as hot can be. Like I was modeling. I looked really, really, really good. I will show you pictures another time. But yeah, like I was all muscle. Like, anyways, I don't want to make this about me looking hot. I want to make this about all the insanity that's going in my head. So then the voices said, yeah, do you remember that one time when you had sex with Art and your friend Asa Guevara? And then it said, yeah, in fact, Art was not the one getting pounded, but it was you, only that you were hypnotized to make it up to, so that you would feel that you were just watching, but in reality you were the one getting pounded by Isaac. He paid money to have sex with you. And you know, when your ex Dan took you to all these parties, he would all these times you were actually hypnotized so that you would have sex with him. So before this, I had a delusion where Dan was hypnotizing me, and this almost rings true. The other story, but that's gonna be another video. It's just as crazy as this one. So then it said, yeah, you have. Let us check you a little bit more. Relax and let us control your eyes. So then I relax, and then I feel the energy beam just pull my eyes from one side to another, like insanely fast. And then it said, turn on your phone and put the counter. So I put the timer, and then I began looking at the timer, and then some outside force began pulling my eyes from one side to another. My eyes were moving side to side super fast. I wasn't even actively moving them. The force was just moving my eyes side to side, and it was and my eyes moved super fast, and I couldn't even personally move them that fast as I couldn't. But then as I was looking at it, the zeros, I felt like they were eyes watching. And then it said, look outside. And then I looked outside. And then all the colors were dim. They were they weren't vibrant. The colors were insanely like tired. And then it said, look at the clock again and let us control your eyes again. So then I looked at the timer, and then again my eyes began moving like this, side to side, super fast. And then I looked at the colors again, and then they were vibrant again. And I was like, well, that's weird. So then it said, look outside, look at the colors. And then I looked at the colors, and then the colors were vibrant again. And then it said, look at the timer again. And then I kept looking at the timer, and then it just went, and then my eyes began moving again. And then I looked at the colors, and all the colors were opaque. And then the voice said, well, you know, Efren, the reason this is happening to you is because you are dead in person. You have been hypnotized again and again and again to make money off you. And at this point, everything is, when it said that I was dead, I began to feel cold. My entire body began to feel cold. And I got scared. And then it said, yeah, but thanks to you, Efren, even though you are alive, you're actually dead. But thanks to your death, we have found out there has been a circle of San Diego. Everyone in San Diego is really good at hypnotism. That's why you are getting gangstalked, because you're the only one that can say something. And everyone is trying to kill you indirectly. And I panicked, and I was like, no, this can't be. So I literally felt like I was dead. That I was dead. The voice told me, estás muerto en vida. You're only a vessel, and you're stuck. And I don't know what that middle, and whatever that middle place before hell or heaven, estás atorado. So then it's the voice began. Then I heard a knocking on the door, and then I was scared because it said. Then someone outside said, "¿Y qué vamos a hacer? What are we gonna do?" And then the voice said, "Efren, te van a matar. They're trying to kill you." And then it said, "Efren, there's a bomb. There's a bomb implanted on you. Be careful." And then I began feeling the same. Then I began feeling like a timer, like a beam of energy on my foot from one end to the other. It was just moving side to side, almost like my eyes were moving, and it was beginning to move faster and faster. And then I felt like I was about to blow up, and then I literally just went and I pulled out and I yelled. Because it felt so real. I literally felt like there was a bomb implanted on me, and then it was about to blow up. And then I looked outside, and there's a person outside of the window, and then they went like that. the Gangstalking song. And then I felt like everyone in the hotel was watching me. Everyone was watching the show. Okay. This is all I can muster for right now. Well, let me just finish the story. So then, the voice began telling me, Efren, your entire life you have wanted to be elegant. And then it began saying this nonsense of colors. And it said, you have been hypnotized to not look at colors in a vibrant manner. That's why we were hypnotizing you. And then the voices became antagonistic. The voices that were trying to help me, they said, we have just hypnotized you again so that you wouldn't see vibrant colors anymore, so that everything looks opaque and dead. And I believed it. So I looked at the phone to call the FBI, because I looked and then I scrolled and then it said, for reports on conspiracy, call this number. I called. I picked up the phone. And the voices were saying, Efren, te vamos a matar. Ni te atrevas a llamar al FBI. No te van a creer. So then I picked up the phone. And someone answered. And I, very afraid, said, I have been hypnotized. I don't know what to do, and they're gonna kill me. And I just hung up the phone. I didn't know what to do. And I said, this is enough. I grabbed my pipe. I grabbed my drugs. I grabbed my torch. And I pour everything down the toilet. I break my glass pipe. Boom! I stomp on it. Break the glass. And throw my torch away. So in these couple of days, I was told that I was a prostitute. The voices told me that I had won $1 million because I had been the key to discovering that everyone in San Diego was a hypnotist, and that there was a ring of prostitution where people were being hypnotized to be whores and then forget about it. It told me I was dead. It told me that my mom was a manipulative biatch who abused me. And I was just told that the voices that pretended to be my friends, that pretended to help me, were actually people from some gang in TJ that had a technology that were using it to destroy me, because I was the key to solving this big conspiracy. And that I had sepsis. The voices told me a word that I didn't know. I'm sure I heard it somewhere because I knew what it was. But I didn't immediately know what the word meant, so I had to look it up on Google. And I went to sleep. And then I began hearing my dad, Efren, you're strong. I'm here for you. Then I heard my mom, My mom said, Efren, I'm gonna send you a little bit of my spirit to help you. Your dad is with you. He's gonna help you. And then my mom said, you don't have to feel all the anguish. You don't have to feel it for me. Because, well, my mom has had a really, really hard life. She has been on her own since she was 13. Her mom kicked her out of her house because my mom accused her of having sex with her stepdad. And my mom had to take care of her sister. And her mom, being a narcissist, kicked her out. So my mom has had a really tough life taking care of my brother and I. But apparently I was the one that was taking all her anguish. And I felt the anguish stuck on my throat. And I couldn't release it. I just couldn't release it. So then I went to sleep and I just completely passed out. I woke up at 3 a.m. and you know when insects move their wings really fast, they vibrate? Well, I had 4 insects. Not literally, but I felt like if there were 4 insects, the insects that big. One here, one here, one here, one on my other foot. They were big insects and they were just fluttering their wings really hard and really fast. And I just felt them crawl on my skin and they were just fluttering their wings. I felt it vibrate. And I was sure that it was just gangstalkers using their technology, absorbing my energy. I felt this shadow going over me, all these weird sensations that suddenly would just smack me on the head, that would suddenly just cause a cramp on my left foot, that would suddenly just cause pain for no reason. It was my shadow. That's what the gangsters called it. The gangstalker said that it was a new trick that they had come up with. That what was taking control of me was the shadow. And as I kept studying cybersecurity, as my self-esteem began growing, the shadow became my friend. And then I thought to myself, if gangstalkers have taught this shadow, this spirit, to hurt me, that means that I can train it to be my friend. I can train it to help me. And I did. That shadow was the best thing that had happened to me because I had learned how to control it. So, and I said, this shadow was my best friend. Little did I know that it was just the other part of my brain, my internal monologue. It was a part of me, but gangstalkers had completely disassociated it from me. It wasn't my internal monologue anymore. It felt like if it was a completely separate person, because it talked to me. It had perspectives that I didn't know, that I didn't see. It helped me put together a sales pitch. I didn't know how to sell my marketing services to one of my clients. And then the voice, I just told him, hey, no sé qué hacer. How can I present this? And the voice, my friend, is that you just do it like this, use MindNote and put all of this, put pictures, do it this way, blah, blah, blah. And it just told me exactly how to pitch it. Just like that, it vomited all the answers to me. It wasn't me, it was this other being. And I said, this thing that gang stalkers have produced is the best thing that I have gotten from this gang stalker situation. I have a friend now that is me, but isn't. When I was using drugs and I ended up at the hospital because I was hypnotized. I'm going all over the place. I'm gonna stop this story here. Well, I'm gonna finish it. So, but on my next video, I'm gonna tell you how I ended up at the hospital, because I asked the voice when I was hypnotized that I wanted to understand everything about gang stalking, about what had happened to me. And I wanted it to teach me everything. But it was so much information that I ended up at the hospital. It's crazy. And I cannot wait to tell you all about it. Thank you for watching. Bye.